Not just rejection. There's a shocking truth behind the Grammys and Jungkook. The world seemed to pause when Jungkook, a global icon, BTS's main vocalist, and a symbol of youthful spirit, expressed his disappointment with the Grammy Awards in an emotional and unusual public statement. Behind this seemingly technical rejection lie layers of the dark realities of the global music industry rarely highlighted by cameras. Is this pure bad luck, or proof that the global award system is still not ready to accept the power of music from the East? We gave everything, but it seems it wasn't enough. This short yet sharp sentence was uttered by Jungkook in an interview released shortly after the announcement of the Grammy 2025 nominations. This statement immediately triggered a wave of emotions from fans and music observers. How could a song like Seven, which topped the Billboard charts for weeks, broke global streaming records, and created a cultural wave worldwide, not be on the radar for major nominations? The answer to this question is not as simple as it seems. Several industry analysts suspect that behind the Grammys' decision, there is a pattern of institutional bias that has never truly disappeared. There are unwritten standards that are still maintained, which make many non-Western artists have to work twice as hard just to get half the recognition, said David S., an independent music critic who has observed the Grammys' development for over 2 decades. This is not just about music. It is a symbolic battle between the dominance of the old industry and the ongoing global cultural change. What made the situation even hotter was Jungkook's courage to publicly voice his disappointment. In the world of K-pop, known for its caution and diplomacy in speaking to the media, this step felt revolutionary. He not only criticized the Grammys' decision, but also questioned the entire system. Is the value of a work of art determined by who judges it or by who touches it? While fans were still digesting the power of those words, their attention was torn by another equally emotional event, Taehyung V's temporary departure due to mandatory military service. These two emotional blows came almost simultaneously, as if testing the resilience of the global army community. V's farewell post on social media depicted a fragile yet hopeful side. I will return with more stories, more love for all of you. In this situation, it's important to consider, are we witnessing the pure sincerity of disappointed and separated artists, or is there another side that has escaped public attention? The modern entertainment world is no longer just about talent and art. It has become a strategic stage where public opinion is shaped, controlled, and capitalized. This confusion is amplified by how social media manipulates public emotions. Short video clips, fan tears, and melancholic music compilations immediately flooded TikTok and Instagram shortly after Jungkook's statement went viral. Hashtags like Justice for Jungkook and We Miss You Taehyung immediately topped trending in various countries. On the one hand, this shows the power of digital solidarity, but on the other hand, it is a sign that public emotions can be steered as quickly as a touch of an algorithm. Several parties began to ask critical questions. Who benefits most from this mass emotional explosion? Is it the Grammys with their drama, Jungkook and his agency, or is it social media itself that is now the main regulator of the narrative? Some analysts even began to suspect that not everything shown is spontaneous. There is a high possibility that this narrative was very carefully curated to maintain maximum engagement from fans, especially during the members' military hiatus, said Lee Jun-hyuk, a Korean media expert. However, this doesn't mean we should be completely cynical. Jungkook's reaction, regardless of whether it was directed or not, still depicts the harsh reality experienced by many Asian artists on the global music stage. When someone with a fan base and achievements at his level still has his eligibility questioned, then the system needs to be reviewed. This is a turning point where rejection no longer means defeat, but becomes a weapon to voice injustice. Of course, the psychological influence of this event cannot be ignored. The relationship between BTS and ARMY over the years has evolved far beyond the typical boundaries between artist and fan. Dr. Han Miji, a social psychologist, calls it a form of high-level parasocial relationship where the emotions of one party can directly shake the emotional side of the other. When Jungkook is disappointed, ARMY feels rejected. When Taehyung leaves, they feel abandoned. Jungkook's viral emotional statement, "I'm disappointed, but I won't stop. This music is for you, not for awards," became an emotional call to resistance that ignited his fans' spirits. Tribute projects emerged worldwide. Murals, fundraisers, solidarity concerts, and even campaigns rejecting institutional validation in assessing the quality of music. However, amidst the emotional turmoil and solidarity, an important question arises that should not be ignored. Do we as an audience truly understand what is really happening? Or are we just swept away in a stream of narratives built by parties with certain interests in a fast-paced world where viral news spreads faster than verified facts? The critical role of the public becomes crucial. We must begin to question, are all these emotions pure? Does social media reflect reality, or does it shape reality itself? This article does not aim to doubt Jungkook's sincerity or Taehyung's affection for his fans. However, in the spirit of transparency and awareness, we need to realize that today's media reality is often more complex than it seems. We need to delve deeper, filter information, and not be completely carried away by emotionally constructed narratives. Perhaps behind the Grammy rejection and Taehyung's departure, there is an important lesson about how the entertainment world works and how we as the public should respond to it. Because one thing is certain, not everything that touches the heart always comes from a completely honest place. The question now is, after this storm has passed, who has truly changed? The industry, the artists, or us? But let's pause for a moment. Amidst the uproar of emotions and mass empathy towards Jungkook and Taehyung's departure, one important question must be asked. Are you truly convinced that all of this is authentic reality? Or could there be a deliberately constructed narrative? In this fast-paced digital era, where information spreads faster than clarification, we as news consumers have a moral responsibility not to swallow information raw. Did Jungkook's statement about the Grammy rejection arise spontaneously, or has it gone through a mature narrative-building process by his media team and agency? Was Taehyung's farewell message a sincere personal expression, or an emotional strategy to maintain closeness with fans during his military hiatus? Let's think deeper. If the Grammys were truly as inclusive and objective as they claim, why are great works like Seven, Standing Next to You, and Jungkook's collaborations with other world musicians continuously ignored? But if the Grammys are indeed biased, why does the reaction to the rejection feel so calculated and touch the most sensitive emotional points in the ARMY community? These questions are not to corner anyone, but to open a space for reflection for all of us. We live in a time where a 15-second video can trigger a global explosion of opinions, where a tweet can destroy a reputation or spark resistance. But have we ever asked, who made that video? Who spread it first? What is the motive behind it? Most of us know that the information circulating today comes from social media, such as TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Interview snippets, concert clips, fan comments, all form a mosaic of narratives that seem authentic. But do those pieces represent the whole truth? Or do they only present a part of the story that has been arranged in such a way as to arouse emotions and strengthen attachment? It's time to take a step back and see the bigger picture. Is it possible that the entertainment industry today not only sells art, but also sells sadness, struggles, disappointments, and farewells as part of a marketing strategy? Are we truly part of a caring community, or are we being targeted emotionally to stay engaged, keep buying, keep following? These questions are not just provocations, but an invitation to think critically amidst the flood of information that tempts feelings, but often misleads the mind. In a world where emotional narratives go viral faster than factual reports, skepticism is not a cynical attitude, but a necessity. Therefore, we encourage all of you, smart fans, viewers, and readers, to ask yourselves, Do you feel connected to this news because of facts or because of emotions? Can you distinguish between narratives designed to touch the heart and information based on data and evidence? Is it possible that this article itself, which you are reading, is also part of a global narrative game that wants to trigger discussion and engagement? Truth often does not come in a clear and dramatic form. It is hidden behind piles of opinions, media framing, and the desire for virality. Therefore, it is important for all of us to refrain from the desire to believe immediately and instead start asking more questions, investigating deeper, and thinking broader. Because in the end, it's not just Jungkook or Taehyung who are being tested. All of us as viewers and readers are being tested. Will we remain emotional consumers or evolve into a critically thinking society? Thank you for watching, and more than that, thank you for questioning.